What is going on YouTube? This is Acid Root. So I'm going to review a 2011 mixtape by Kingston. Basically this project is called King of Kings and it came out in the winter of 2011. Now the thing about this particular product here is just the fact that Kingston, particularly back in like the late 2000s, Kingston was dropping an album every other year as far as his first album. So his first album came out in 2007, his second album came out in 2009. This was like, he didn't drop a third album in 2011, so this was like the interim type project that was like the most noteworthy thing that he probably particularly did around that particular time in 2011. And then he dropped like his actual third album, which came out in 2013. So this might as well be treated as like the full bound type project that Kingston was up to in between. Like, I want to say his 2009 album was called Tomorrow or something like that. I reviewed both of Kingston's first couple albums in like 2023, so it's been a little bit since I touched base with Kingston. I want to get to some more of these. I realize within the fair that he does have a series of other products. I did at least purchase in the past. I did purchase his Back to Life album from 2013 as far as what's first going to happen, but then after that, Kingston kind of particularly disappeared. I want to say he dropped at least one other album. Maybe it was in like 2014 or 2015, something like that within the particular type fair, but then he did not drop a fifth album until way out in 2022. So in the pitch, he's kind of back on the scene, but Kingston has a number of mixtapes. Apparently, I want to say that Kingston at least has a mixtape that came out in 2009, some of those type pitches, and I want to say he also has one that came out in like 2007, maybe even possibly one that came out in 2006. So it's within the fair, just pitches like that as far as what's first going to happen. Now, Kingston did, right after this particular mixtape came out, he did get in like a jet skiing accident that almost killed him as far as this pitch going to happen. Definitely a vastly unfortunate situation within that particular fair. I look after it as kind of the depiction of the album. It's kind of the depiction of the album cover on Back to Life as far as this particular fair is going to happen with it within the pitch behind this, showcasing the concept that it's a lot more of a serious particular situation than what might have been known as far as this pitch happens. So it's within the fair as far as saying, but this particular product here is excellent type fair within the pitch behind it. Out of 13 songs on this mixtape, I wound up recommending 11 within the pitch. So this mixtape is going to get pretty damn close to getting like a 10 out of 10. Within the relative rating type factor, you would almost think like a 9.25 or a 9.5 out of 10. It's going to be within that particular range. I'll probably go ahead and say, because it's a free mixtape and there's just that many hits, I would say normally, I don't know, I'll particularly give this mixtape like a 9.5 out of 10 just to raise it because of the fact of the freebound quality behind it. It's just excellent type fare. This particular mixtape is filled with radio jingles on here. It's the same sort of pitch. Kingston, who was pretty big in like the album type scene, he got a number of hits off his 2007 album within pitches like that. I kind of say within that pitch because I question how many full-bound folks nowadays kind of remember Kingston's 2007 album within the pitch. I mean, I would say within certain sense, I think there's a number of particular scores of folks, but within the pitch behind it, considering that the summer of 2007 is now 18 years ago within some of those type pitches, it's not exactly yesterday or the day before within some of those type fairs. So it's just kind of the pitch, kind of a relatively kind of retro and throwback kind of R&B album and dancehall album within some of those type pitches behind. So it's just kind of the fair that Kingston's kind of somewhat of a relic here within the fair behind it. But this particular mixtape came out in the Dat Piff heyday, and this is quietly, this is quietly brought to you by DJ Drama and another DJ called DJ Ill Will within some of those type pitches. So it's not full bound depicted as a Gangsta Grills, but I think probably within the relative concept it probably is within the fair. It doesn't designate it as full bound, but it's just within the pitch as far as saying, so it's just within the fair, just within the concept. So I look after it here. Yeah, classic mixtape within the impact of it. Brief and right to the point as far as what's first going to happen, but just the impact as far as how it particularly kind of does it. There's a number, like I was saying, number of radio songs on here. Akon and Justin Bieber are on this particular mixtape, which is some excellent type fare. Flow Right is on here. Not all these folks help out with hooks, but some good type pitches as far as those formats going to happen. Just the tone as far as saying this is a pretty commercial bound type mixtape within the aspect of just getting towards stuff that basically feels like a mini kind of appetizing treat. Now you're not going to get songs like when you think of Beautiful Girls and like Me Love, some of those type pitches that were just, I mean, there are summer island hops on this particular product's poolside and beach party type aspects within the tone, volleyball type music within the pitch, but it's just kind of the tone as far as saying, just within the relative aspect about it, that this mixtape does not have a single for one thing, doesn't have any charting hits on here. It's just kind of the concept. It does have the appeal, but it's just more off the wayside, just kind of a secret cache of Kingston songs within the pitch. That some of these probably should add some radio jingles, but it's just more in the aspect of this kind of being very noteworthy, kind of hardcore type music, more so than the full bound this commercial breakthrough that it probably should have gotten. So it's an unfortunate aspect that it didn't get more territory, but it's just kind of the concept. I think I probably credit that to the fact that that there wasn't really any promotion, any music videos, pictures like that. I looked around to see if there was some sort of promotion for it, but it just didn't seem like there really was. I looked on Rate Your Music, kind of singles discography, Sean Kingston music videos discography, and Sean Kingston's Vivo. It just didn't really seem like the pitch behind it was really there, which is unfortunate because I feel like the effort behind backing of like a DJ drama mixtape, some of those type fairs, and just having that official type product, I think this would have been a good interim type moment to have gotten that, but just with the pitch. It does have some particular commercial flair. So, out of the 13 songs in this product, the only 2 songs I don't recommend on here would just be Hood Dreams and then Hope is a River. Basically, Hope is a River is just kind of a more upbeat type one that just didn't fit the affluence behind it. I recognize that some of these type songs were necessary. This is a relatively kind of beleaguered and glum type product, which is some good, it has some good fair and conduct about that as far as what's first going to happen. Pretty similar to like Sean Kingston from 2007, that same sort of summer heartache and malaise about it, just within the particular aspect of this, that typical drear and just sky, sun gaze, sunset gaze, some of those particular aspects, the same sort of format, same, just a little bit more dreary this time, not quite as sparky and just with an affluence behind it as far as being like in your face with like those banner kind of hooks on there, but it's probably only just because there wasn't any promotion. But I look after it's just kind of the tone, a little bit mellower with the pitch. Some of these songs like the Akon song, the Justin Bieber song, some of these type ones, Twice My Age, Say Yes, some of these type pitches, Rewind, just a little bit more mellow, but it's a good aspect to be able to get some of these here. But basically, Hope is a River was just kind of an upbeat type one within some of those type aspects that just didn't nail the particular aspect of just having a little bit more upkeep about it as far as what's first going to happen. And then Hood Dreams was just a poor rap type song with the pitch. On the occasion, Sean Kingston does do rap songs. I think he was kind of pals with Soulja Boy. I think Sean Kingston was kind of pals with Soulja Boy as far as he's first going to happen, but this is just the wrong beat concoction to kind of throw on here. It just really didn't suit Soulja Boy or Sean Kingston within the pitch behind it. Sean Kingston definitely didn't feel at home on this. It just kind of felt like a royal kind of East Coast beat that just didn't have the appeal. I recognize that this particular mixtape is called King of Kings, but the royalty factor of it was just not as affluent within the pitch as far as something that had as much full-blown kind of charm about it. It just didn't have as much full-blown spark within the pitch. But I look after here, so yeah, this mixtape, originally I was going to give this mixtape like a 9.25 out of 10, but I realized between the pitch and just the affability, the commercial appeal of this particular product, and just the overall aspects of the hooks that are packed into it, the production value, and just the fact that it's free and pitches like that, I'm going to give this mixtape, raise the score a bit, give it a 9.5 just from the pitch. If it had been 12 out of 13, if there had just been one more song I recommended, this would have gotten a 10 out of 10. It was just in the fair. It's really on the cusp of being like a full-bound classic. It might as well be within the pitch behind it. This is just Banner, Dat, Piff era, some of those type pitches, just a secret type treat to kind of get here, just in between. Is for folks that think they know everything about Sean Kingston. This is just a good type pitch to bring over some of these type songs. I recognize that without a commercial single or something that kind of had promotion or a music video about it, it's a little bit tougher to kind of have like a full-bound kind of recommendation because there's just not as many full-bound kind of recognizable songs, but this gives it more of like the aspect of the element of surprise as far as this pitch can happen, just with like some good songs that are surprising, but they're just not radio-bound. So there are some immediate ones to go for, though. I would definitely say that You Girl with Akon's one of the most immediate ones to kind of go for here. Just Akon back in like the early 2010s was always an immediate type anchor within those pitches, the way he nailed those hooks. This one's no exception. It's like a slick but mellower kind of island hop kind of get here. Just Gallivant. You Girl's like a slick but mellower kind of island hop Gallivant to kind of get here. Just basic Pink Skies, I'd say just Summer Drear kind of weaves within the pitch as far as those aspects kind of happen. So just the tone of some of these, there's just some ones on here that are going to be kind of like that. Songs like Echo, songs like Rewind, some of these type ones, songs like Twice My Age, some of these particular type fairs, just that same sort of pitch, same sort of aspect, just a little bit more in the evening type aspect. I'd say a little bit more for 6 o'clock, 6:45, 5:45, 7:15, some of those type pitches within the aspect. I feel like there were some ones more amidst like the day type fair, but it is, I feel like the concept is not so much that the stay at these vacate type spots is getting tiresome within the pitch. It's this kind of aspect as far as saying that this is kind of the concept that the bite just doesn't feel as ferocious with like the lust that kind of was within some of these as like what was in like 2007 or 2009. It just feels a little bit not so much full bound kind of detached, but just in the pitch as far as saying this is more, I guess you could say within certain sense it's kind of comfortable within the pitch, but just kind of the tone as far as saying it's just not as hungry and like the summer appetite I'd say. So it's just a pitch behind, but just some of these type ones. So another nice one on here would be Say Yes. It's like a good usual after work shift dredge to kind of get in like a tropical sense I'd have to say here. Just nice dancehall kind of radio hit. It's like a nice dancehall kind of radio hit. So it's just the pitch as far as just that typical kind of format that folks like Rihanna and Avril Lavigne, some of those type folks would do, just kind of more dance hall and just reggaeton type sense with them pitch behind, just kind of the concept of something for 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock p.m. So that particular type fair, just one of the few type ones that has like a work shift type format. This is one of those type pitches where if you do live out in the island type fair, just more tropical type places with an aspect, Hawaii, Florida, Texas, some of those type places, more places that are beach bound, some of that particular type fair, luau type music pitches like that, just kind of be the concept of this, that typical kind of report, just kind of being near islands, some of that particular type fair, having like some mojitos, pitches like that, just in the aspect of this, the kind of after effect of this, kind of scorching hot suntan type music within the pitch, but just kind of the concept of just unwind within the aspect of just like that dredge, where it's not so much vacate type music like Sean Kingston's 2007 album, but just actually the concept of actually living at some of these type places on like a normal basis. This kind of concept where you do have work to report to, and just the after effects of this got done with some of that those type shifts as far as those formulas can have. So just good type pitch for that. On top of that, flow ride is on there, good type fair, just good type conduct. One of the best songs on this particular mixtape, in my opinion, is Don't Let Me Go. It's like a rock solid kind of moody ballad to kind of get here. Good malaise about that. Don't Let Me Go is like a rock solid kind of moody ballad malaise kind of get here. Just mixtape stand out for a change of pace as far as those pitch going to happen. So yeah, Don't Let Me Go is a real highlighted type one. Just real drear just in the pitch behind. This typical kind of forlorn kind of haze just about it. Just good type pitch for some of that type fair. Just real stand out. I'd say within the aspect behind it, Echo is a nice one as well. It's like a jivey kind of summer party noise kind of get here. Just typical kind of hot loud pack I'd say within the pitch behind it. Some definite radio gloss here and just a basic kind of heartache drip as far as those pitch happen. So just the aspect, typical kind of format for Sean Kingston with some of those type pitches. Just standard factory type pitch within the fair behind it at this particular stage. Not like it's just factory in terms of like the quality behind it. It's just kind of the pitch that is just, it feels effortless within the concept as far as those pitches kind of happen. Just in the tone is just the aspect of how these are nailed. This good type aspect here or just get into some of that particular summer beach part, some of that type fair volleyball, just pitches like that, some of those particular aspects of just like the concept of this, coolers full of beers and drinks, some of that particular good type fair, just beachside type pitches, getting tan, some of that particular aspect, just the aspect of something to kind of play at water parks and places like that, just places where there's going to be cookouts and some of that particular type fair, just more conduct of like summer kind of commotion within the pitch, just something for letting things going to happen within the speakers blaring as far as those pitches going to happen. Twice My Age is a nice one here. It's like a poolside and kind of hot weather in between moments kind of get within these aspects. It's busybody kind of day product that has say and just an overall vibe. So this is like a better variation when you think of like that song Your Sister. When you think of like that song Your Sister off of the Sean Kingston album from 2007, I want to say that's what that song is called. Something that has to do with the song Sister, something within that pitch that Sean Kingston hooks up with the homie sister as far as those fairs can happen. I think it is called Your Sister. But just within the pitch as far as saying within the aspect, this is kind of the format behind that same typical type format. Just kind of in between type moments. The composition about this particular song is just kind of extra time within the pitch behind it. Not quite as in the face, not quite as full bound amongst the concept of that particular fair, but just within the pitch as far as saying, kind of losing track of the point I'm trying to say here, but just within the pitch as far as talking about just kind of extra moments within the fair, just being kind of like, it's kind of extra moments that are not banner kind of radio single type moments, but just kind of the pitch of just like summer frenetic and just summer activities and the conduct of just extra kind of aspects within hangout type fashions just in the pitch, like the conduct of the song as far as saying, yeah, women twice your age as far as those pitch can happen within the aspect as far as those particular fairs going to happen with it. Just good type conduct for like summer activity, that just good bolsterment to vacate type activity. I'd have to say here, good type pitch for that. Won't Stop is a quality one. It's like a malaise kind of focused music, I'd have to say, and like a summery smog, I'd have to say here, pretty good pitch for that. This has Justin Bieber on here, which is a good pitch, but it's just kind of the concept. This is Justin Bieber actually raps on this song, but it's just kind of the pitch as far as saying that this is back when he was 16, 17. So it's not like the Justin Bieber of like the later on in the 2010s when he got real affable. It's like a predominant kind of full bound kind of pop star. I mean, he was predominant like in the 2000s, but just in the pitch is just some good type conduct. Seeing him back in these real early type days when he was just a lot more spry. Just kind of the concept. But this is like a good ruminate while chiefing. I'd have to say within the concept by chiefing, I mean token some ganja pitches like that, and it's a good song to cruise around to within the fair. So just kind of the product. Particularly pretty nice one, just like the standard just commerce like island hopping pitches like that within the fair behind it. Pretty similar to like I'd say Yes, but just not quite as dredgy within the aspect a little bit. I mean it's malaise about it, but it's just kind of within the pitch of just typical kind of cruise around, picking up some Popeye, something like that, Wendy's, some of those particular type fairs within the pitch behind it. Then further songs within those aspects would be Rewinds, like a summer evening ball kind of get here, just Pink Skies, kind of romantic, kind of chillax, I'd say within the pitch behind definite getaway type music. I'd have to say here, just day in the hot life. It's the day in the hot life as far as this pitch can have. So just a typical product. What I mean by that is just typical kind of standard summer fare as far as this pitch can have, and just usual fare for Sean Kingston. Just the product of listening to similar music to that particular format. I'm actually trying to think if there's more full bound type folks like Sean Kingston. I mean, I think within the particular fare, his particular niche about it, he does have some good products here with his albums, his 2000s albums and his 2010s albums, but I think apart from Aya's and maybe in certain extents like Jason Derulo, there weren't actually a ton of folks that really is full bound much like Sean Kingston as far as those first kind of went. Justin Bieber for like a little while, Rihanna for like a little while, but not terribly many folks just continue to do that particular summer hop the way he particularly did it, kind of being like a good reggaeton type fusion, but it's just within a good type pitch here, just within the iconic rewind is like another nice one for some of that drear, just similar to you girl and say yes, some of these type ones echo some of these type pitches, I'd have to say. One Way is a quality one. It's like a good choice for like a buzz single, I'd have to say here. Just a fizzy pop kind of single, definitely. And just reminds a lot. This particular song definitely reminds of Justin Bieber and Young Money. Some of those particular folks out of like the early 2010s as far as those first albums. It's just within the pitch as far as saying good type conduct here. I mean, this is another nice one. Just within some of these type pitches, some of these ones I feel like that probably could have been singles, would have been songs like Say Yes, You Girl, One Way. To certain extents, like Echo would have probably been a pretty good choice. Some of those type pitches. I mean, there's a good number of these here that probably could have been like just the typical rollout for like a Sean Kingston album back in his complete heyday as far as those pitches can happen. There's a lot of gorgeous hooks on here just in the aspect. Like that's one thing I didn't talk about as much full bound within the descriptions of these. Just be able to say that there's a ton of hooks on here. Like Akon really knocks out his hooks. Sean Kingston has some good hooks on some of these type ones. Like other ones, like some of these summer hop type ones, like Rewind and Say Yes, and some of these type pitches, and the one I was talking about with the Pink Skies, like Rewind and Echo. Some of these type pitches here just has some pretty excellent type hooks within the fare behind. So it just has that typical kind of jam packed with some of that particular fare about it. This is kind of the aspect there. So I think I talked about every song that I recommend as far as those pitches kind of happen with this. So it's just kind of the conduct. Oh yeah, I think there's one more. Forget About It is another one I haven't talked about. So within the pitch, this is like a dreary kind of day after hours simp gem to kind of get here. Just neighborhood sludge, I'd have to say about this one. Just a ruffle few days as far as this pitch kind of. So just kind of mishaps within the pitch. Just bad hair days, some of that particular type format. Just bells kind of mishaps within the pitch. Just kind of the conduct, lacing up, getting straightening as far as this pitch can happen within the fare behind. It's kind of easy kind of simp type music within the fare behind. It's kind of typical product, just more neighborhood type fare. This is actually one that's not as full bound beachside within the pitch. It's not amidst like summer kind of poolside pitches like that, pool party, beachside, some of those particular type fares within the aspect here. Just what I'd say, it's just more neighborhood brown, particular local spots, just within pitches like that. Just kind of typical type fare. This chatting with like a cold drink nearby, some of that particular type fare. Just like the concept of this driveway type music or something within that particular type format. Just more around neighborhood, just around more personal and kind of local type fares within the pitch behind. But just good, nice one for some of these particular type fares within that. Good concept for that. So I look after here the concept, like I was saying, 9.5 score within the pitch behind it. I look after it here. I want to say I talk about every song here. So within the pitch, the social score I'll probably give. Like I would give the social score a 10 out of 10 if it would have had at least one single. Like I said, there's a lot of good choices for singles out this product, but it just never delivered upon the aspect behind it. I question why this particular product was as quiet as it was. It probably could have had a lot more banner type impact, and this would have been a pretty good stopgap for Sean Kingston had it had a little bit better promotion type first. I'll probably say more within the impact is going to be like a 9.75 social just within pitch, because the quality is definitely on here. All these songs are jam packed. The hooks are excellent on here. It's just summer parties, pool parties, pitches like that. Some of that particular aspect of this more kind of luau and bar type cookouts within some of that particular type format. Just outdoor kind of dance clubs, some of those particular type pitches. I want to say there was like a dance club type song I was talking about. I don't know if I talked about Blow Me Away. I think this is another one I didn't talk about, just to say about that one real quick. I forgot about Blow Me Away. It's like a jumping kind of tropic dance commotion kind of get here. Blow Me Away is like a jumping kind of tropic dance commotion kind of get here. Just an outdoor kind of dance club group. I'd have to say about this one in particular. Just stock Kingston as far as this first kind of happens. So it's just one of the pitches as far as saying another nice one. Probably one of the few songs that just amidst like the fury like a dance venue as far as this pitch can have. Most of this is just kind of more amidst like the beach and just kind of the frolic of like some saunter kind of in the hot weather, more so than the concept of being at like a dance venue and actually having the product of getting like some commotion and working up a sweat, some of those type pitches within it. So it's just kind of the concept, not a ton of dance moments, surprisingly not that. I mean, the social score is going to be pretty high, but it's just from the pitch and more of like this mingle and kind of saunter type music, more so than the full bound ferocity of like the carnage amidst like the actual venues and places like that. So mine just blow me away. That's one thing to say about the Soch score when I was scoring at 9.75 is just the pitch. There's not actually a ton of moments amidst the fury. Other than that, between that minor aspect and then just the concept of like there not being a single, that would be why it's at 9.75. But the viciousness is on here. Plenty of good hooks, like I was saying. Packed to the gills with some of that. Just summer heat, like a mini Sean Kingston album, just minus the radio songs that would have that casual appeal. So it's just one pitch, but it does have casual. It's just not as recognizable. That's the concept. But in terms of feature, like Sean Kingston, the unfortunate thing is that Sean Kingston has a pending court case within some of those type fairs. So hopefully he can overcome some of this particular type stuff and get back to putting out more products. He did drop a project as recent as the fall of 2022 within some of those type pitches, but there are some more of these I want to get to, like his 2013 album, some of those particular type fairs within it. But this is a classic mixtape. This is a classic mixtape here, easy enough to see within the pitch behind it. Definitely appreciate the aspect behind it. Just dynamite type fair and easy like some banner kind of summer 2010s mixtape heat. And also, I think I forgot to talk about the song "The One" by Sean Kingston. As far as what's first gonna happen, basically it's like a dreary but emphatic kind of summer evening sludge to kind of get here. Just a typical dope Kingston heat. I'd have to say about this one, good song to frolic to as far as what's first gonna happen. So it's just one of the pitch as far as saying very similar to like the formats of some of these particular ones I was naming before within the pitch behind it. Very similar to songs like Rewind and Echo. Some of those type pitches, just the same sort of concept. Say yes, some of these particular type pitches is good type, consistent kind of luau type fare within the pitch, and just like that typical kind of beach blowout. Some of those type pitches where there's going to be a bunch of coolers and towels and pitches like that. Some of those particular type formats like that standard dredge, like the aspect behind it. So it's just further kind of cookout type music pitches like that. Just grab a cold Corona. Some of those particular type fares within the aspect behind it. Within the fair, it's good type fares. So I think that's the last one I didn't cover within the pitch. So this is going to be tacked on towards the end of the review, but still stock type stuff kind of get. So I don't know why this review took particularly the fair that it did, but it's just the pitch that this is another one here.